Hello there, everyone. Soulsorcer17 here. Let me first, like usual, I did not own the pictures. I made the thumbnail, not the video. Alright, okay. So here's the thing. I'm downstairs currently. I think about an hour from now or so, I will be going upstairs to my room and falling asleep. But I wanted to make this what if. I got sidetracked by watching videos. I already told someone I was gonna make it in a few minutes. I got sidetracked making videos, so I decided to make this now. So I watched and finished all of basically volume 1. Some stuff are gonna be changed around. You'll see why. As well, the thing is that someone asked me if there's gonna be a ship. There is. I kind of was deciding between 3 different characters, but I decided because I only want to make one ship. I may change in the future, but I technically only want to make it one. So because Izuku is going to be in that world permanently, it will work out. And to the person who asked if I ever make another version of this what if, I will, to make him a vigilante instead. Hey, yeah, you got it. And then I'll go with one of my other ships I would have done. So, anyways, let's continue on with this series. Last time we left off, we just had Izuku become a part of Team RWBY. Which, well, we're just gonna go into it. So yeah, this is what Deku was summoned into RWBY. Part 2. So, as Ozpin, Goodwitch, Izuku, Yang, Weiss, Blake, and Ruby are walking to, well, the training area that is for Izuku. So when they arrive there, Ozpin goes like, "Welcome, Team RWBY, to the training area." Basically, this is for Izuku and his team. Which I think Weiss will be like, "Wait, what do you mean for Izuku?" He's like, "All will be revealed soon." So, you need to know this. Basically, we have combat training over here, where you will use only hand-to-hand coordination. This special training area is multi-purpose, can be used for weapons and combat. The weapons over there are to test out new, techniques and skills that you can learn with different weapons, just in case you find anything, you want to try out. And, we have many more different things for all of you. So, I just want to say this real quick. Or should I say ask. Izuku, do you want to tell them these are your teammates? And I know I told you to keep it a secret, but I believe these 4 are worthy of your trust. Which Izuku, looking at Ozpin and Goodwitch, and then looking back at, Team RWBY, he looks back at Ozpin and he's like, "Fine, I'll trust them because they're my teammates." I mean, technically would have trust issues if you really think about it. Which Ozpin nods. He was like, "I completely understand. Should I tell them or should you?" He was like, "I'll just give them a quick rundown." So he turns around to Team RWBY. He was like, "Alright, so here's the quick summary of me. I'm not from this world or dimension. Well, actually, you could say dimension, really. I was summoned into this world, and I was given something. Something that you would not believe. And though I have no knowledge of this world, besides, whatever I can learn here, I do have knowledge on how to use a weapon properly. And so, yeah. That's a quick summary of it. Which Ruby would just say, "Wait, what? You're not from here? You have a semblance." And he goes, "That was given to me, an aura." So, to be honest, I came up from a world where everyone has superpowers, but only at least 20% of the population are quirkless. if you guys are wondering why I'm making him do this and why should he, if you really think about it, it's they need to know for one reason. I mean, okay, if you think of it like this, Izuku would not be able to trust no one, and at all. His teammates are his friends, going to be his closest friends, and him keeping a secret. You know, he's done it in the canon series. In this one, it's technically life. It could be a life-threatening situation that someone could find out about him, and they would not be able to trust him ever again, and this would cause problems in the future. So, that is my reasoning. If you guys want to make a comment on that and saying the reason why I wouldn't, please let me know and I can retcon it. If I think it's a good enough reason and valid, or multiple believe it's multiple people think I shouldn't have done this, I do not mind. But it is, I think, though, you should be open up with your teammates. And you should begin to know them a little bit more, but here's the thing. We all know technically how the RWBY series went, and how Beacon went down in probably a span of not even a year when Ruby and the team was there, so yeah. But that's besides the point. So he just says, okay, you want to know what I mean by people have powers, or do you want me to, tell you everything? Weiss will say, I would like to know everything what you mean. Hold on. I thought I heard something real quick. I'll be right back. No, it was nothing really. Anyways, continuing on. He just says, okay, so superpowers, 80%, no powers, 20%. I think I said powers, 20%. Jesus, why did I keep messing that up? Okay, so he just says this, okay. Basically, the superpowers are basically called quirks. Quirks can give you, useful abilities or non-useful abilities. There's different types of ones. Emitter, mutation, and there's another one. I'm never really good to remember the third one. Elemental, I think. Or that's emitter. Basically, I don't remember 2 out of 3. I'm sorry. Basically, he says the third one. And they're like, huh? He was like, you technically have a quirk called explosions as to being a very good quirk, but then have a different one from another person that could be basically stretchy eyes. Or, making fingers long. Those are useless quirks. But then there are quirkless. Basically, being treated like crap. Everyone looks down on you, beat you up, treating you like a piece of shit, basically. Which, that kind of surprises them. He goes, and so, that's how my world worked. But, in this one, well, I don't know really much about it. I only have some information or whatever I can gather here. I just know mostly about my semblance and aura. And you have to train with, Ozpin wants me to show you, I guess. He goes, yes, please, enter the, multi-purpose training room. He's like, right, so, as Izuku gets in there, Ozpin says, now Izuku, please, throw a punch. And he goes, gotcha. So Izuku gets in his stance, and when he throws the punch, he thinks of, basically using the power. His eyes do go golden for a minute, and when he throws the punch, though, fire comes out of his fist. Everyone just seeing it is in shock. And then, he goes, is that good enough? He goes, yes it is. Please come out. So Izuku comes out, and he was like, yeah, some power I got. I only get it as a season, basically, but that's all. Because, yes, and, well, we have to protect Izuku because of this. This is where all of you will come in. I trust in you to always be by his side, ever needed, and, well, always help him out. Help him train, get more better control in his power and his semblance. Help him learn how to fight with unique weapons, such as, well, Yang's gloves, belt, gauntlets, gloves, shotguns. I'm not really sure what they're called. And then she goes, Weiss's, well, sword, and scythe and sniper. And basically Blake's sword and gun. Which Izuku nods. He was like, what? Basically, I think then Blake was like, wait, what do you mean help? Izuku was like, oh, my semblance. I can technically erase everyone's semblance, aura, dust, and for Grimm's, I can make them weaker. So basically, if I use my scarf, I'm able to then technically mimic your weapons at any point. So, comes in handy. In which, they're just like, wow. He goes, yeah, look, it's fine if you guys don't want to be, teammates with me. I can understand. You probably think I'm crazy, but I wouldn't blame you. Yang and RWBY says, we don't think. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I mean, you basically told us about this power, and, well, you were summoned. So how did you, come into this world? It was like, oh, well, the day I met Ruby was the day I freaking was summoned into this world. So it was pretty freaking, hell rough. Which, Ruby's like, huh? He's like, I came out of the alleyway and I got arrested. So, like, wow, Whis just said, not Whis, what? Yeah, I think I've been calling her Whis. Hold on, I think I'm saying the name wrong. Wiseman, saying that's a weird day to, it's like, yeah, it is. Anyways, so yeah. I have power now, and I want to save as many people as I can. Protect the ones who are weak and can't defend themselves, basically. And RWBY says, just like me! Help out people. Huh, interesting. Seems like we have the exact same thing in common, but different things. Anyways, though, which, anything you want to say, miss? She goes, yes, I'm also teaching Izuku about the language and, well, everything he can, including getting him some fighting with aura semblance. He did a remarkable job on facing so many Grimms by himself. Which, they're just like, huh? And he was like, wait, how do you guys... Ozpin says, oh, we basically watched. Here, I can show them. And basically they show a recording of what Izuku did. Then everyone was like, you have a collapsible bow that can turn to a scythe? How is that even possible? But it's so cool. And, wait, why is there feathers coming off of your hood? Well, technically, cloak? He's like, huh? And he was like, oh shit, you're right. Why is that even, why? Basically, Gowish tells him the exact same reason that, she told Ozpin. He's like, oh, cool. So it gives me a little bit of a speed boost. Sweet. Basically, Ozpin goes like, anyways, let's go to your facility. Not your facility, your, room. And so they get to the room, and and it's a lot bigger than most. And which are like, wow. He goes, well, since we do not have, we do have only the room that can fit 4 beds, but since we had to have a 5th one, we had to make it a little bit bigger. And, And since technically Izuku doesn't really have any clothing besides the one he has on, and basically a hunter's, well, basically outfit, we will have to have it designed. He's like, okay. In which then, well, Weiss, yeah, I think it's Wise. I know it's Weiss. Wise Steam? Yeah, I'm just having troubles. My brain's having, like, not like, it's my dyslexia kicking in. Sorry. Hold on. I got fix the fire. Oh, anyways, like I was saying, wait, does he have to go shopping? He was like, basically, asked me, he was like, yes, he does. But I will take him away with me to basically work on his huntsman outfit. And, well, someone said to make it look like Assassin's Creed. I mean, to be honest, I wanted to make, like, Izuku's huntsman outfit basically be more, how can I say this? He does, have, like, boots on and such. And he would be, I mean, the way the clothing will look is mostly, I would say Crow would have been the perfect one, how it will look. But, no, it really wouldn't. So, his shirt is basically something that has what you can say. I don't want it to basically look like, anything to do with fall. That'll be a dead giveaway. That he has, like, the fall element a part of him. So, he'll still keep the cloak. He then basically will have shirt will be basically technically gray. And he would technically have, like, straps. Like, because why not have him have just some other stuff on him? I mean, he technically can erase semblance. And then his scarf can basically, copy other people's weapons. But why not make him have, like, some smoke bombs? If, he basically runs into multiple Grims that he can't fight alone. And, well, I can say, though, like, the straps have me, like, holsters. So I can see him, like, holding, like, multiple stuff, like, one pouch can hold, like, smoke bombs, another pouch can hold, like, I can think probably shurikens and a kunai in one or something. And, well, basically pants, just regular pants with multiple pockets. Actually, the straps can go anywhere. Basically, that pouch is on it, so yeah, it doesn't really matter where. Still keep the cloak, just gray shirt. Yeah, it's just something. And it doesn't have to look like really big, because of we've seen RWBY, they just like wear their normal clothing just in a fight for the outfit. So why not just give Izuku just something normal-ish? Okay, pouches can go around the belt. Yeah, so that'll work. It goes around the belt. He definitely could have, I don't know, like some other stuff too, but that can be later on. Because I'm kind of looking towards the future of the series. But anyways, enough of me talking about that. So, I mean, he kind of looks at his team. He's like, well, wait, why is there a wall with a door on it? He was like, oh, that's your room. It's like, huh? Yes, I mean, that's what I mean, we had to make it bigger. But I think, though, it would have been better off if we kept your privacy. Because we don't want to have anyone looking at you and then you suddenly burn them to a crisp. He's like, and he goes, accidentally. He's like, okay, thanks, but geez, you think I would do that to them? He's like, I don't know. He's like, alright, thanks, though. So Izuku basically goes with, well, Asen. Basically, he goes to design his his henchman outfit. Finally, each though, because of what happened to Amber, he basically is enforcing the outfit, basically all the clothing, but technically with metal fibers that are light, but it'll be very durable. And he has why 4 pouches, like one for smoke bombs, the other one could be for kunais and shurikens, and another one for snacks. He's like, okay then. He's like, yeah. Pants, basically the normal thing, boots. He does ask though for a hidden blade in the boot though. He's like, wow, that'll be handy for some stuff. He's like, yeah, he knows. So, anyways, what then happens afterwards? That is just him getting stuff, buying more clothing, regular clothing, then, basically, you say, TV, books, for him to study with Goodwitch, and, well, basically history books, basically, a laptop, and, that'll be it. Not really fancy. So, oh, and maybe some combat, basically hand-to-hand, or, combat books, basically, like, see whatever type of karate it's different. So yeah, maybe also know how to use a scythe efficiently. But anyways, after like all that shopping, and near they get back, Ruby and the girls basically help him out. So, but after everything, they all go to bed. Next morning, he hears a whistle. He's like, huh? He basically runs over. He's like, hey, is everyone alright? What's happening? She goes, good, you're awake. Now then, Ruby basically says the exact same thing about, decoration in the first room as the mission. And Izuku's like, you have fun with that. I'm gonna get ready and go. Like, huh? He's like, I don't really have much stuff and I don't have any decorations. I ain't about, as you saw, clothing, books, computer, TV. That's it. You're like, okay, bye, Izuku. They all say. He's like, yeah. So, yeah, that just happens. Izuku gets dressed in the uniform and leaves. So, Izuku arrives in the class a little bit like 20 minutes early, and then all of a sudden he's just thinking, I wonder where the girls, as in all of a sudden all the girls came in running along with Jean's team. So, yeah. He's like, there you guys are. You're like, how much time do we have? He's like, 5 seconds. Good Simon. So yeah, it's just basically Grimm's teacher, basically. I'm gonna badly pronounce this teacher's name, but I'm gonna try my best. So, please give me a minute. Actually, it's just, it was wrong teacher. It's just Peter Port, basically. As he's describing the tale of, basically how he fought a Grimm and such, and Ruby's kind of ignoring, Wise. Yeah, Wise. I believe I got that right. I know I probably said the name the first time, in the What If Part 1 right. No, I can't say it for some reason right. It's just how it is. Wise. she's annoying her and stuff, and then she asked who would like to volunteer. Not she, but he asked who would like to volunteer to face the beast. As well, Wise was about to raise her hand, Izuku, does first. So, he says, Izuku, please, come forward. If think you're ready. He's like, sure, but I'd like to have a teammate, if you don't mind. He's like, huh? Who? Wise. Yeah. What? I keep on hearing the E. I keep on seeing the E and the I in my head. So, Wise, basically. Yeah, I know I'm getting into hate comments and saying stop having troubles with it or something, and I'm just like, I can't, man. It's my dyslexia. Anyways, she's like, huh? He's like, yeah, come on. I want to see how we'll work as a team. Alright? She goes, okay. So, as Izuku and her get forward, he does ask the teacher, saying, hey, can I use my semblance? I want to test out something. She goes, which the teacher's like, Peter says, oh, sure thing. I already told about it, so go right ahead. Which Izuku just snaps his finger, and then, well, for some reason, some people are like questioning why they feel a little bit, weaker. As Izuku says, Yang, do you have your, gauntlets? Well, gloves on? And she goes, oh, yeah, here. As they say, she has them on herself. Which everyone's just looking at her like, what? You never know when you're gonna need them. He's good. So basically, his scarf starts to float up in air, and then he basically throws it around them. As all of a sudden he goes, now then, copy. Actually, if you want to, I think though the proper term would be trace on. I mean, I don't know if I should say. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that trace on. As all of a sudden, blue lines start coming off of the scarf, go there around. As then it starts to form into the gauntlets, gloves of Yang. As then he moves a certain way. As everyone can just see, it looks like they actually are have the bullets in it. And Yang's like, okay, that is cool. And he was like, now we're ready, teach. He's like, alright then. Here you go! Basically, as Yang, Blake, and Ruby are cheering her on, Izuku says, I'll make an opening for you. Be ready to attack. She's like, right. So Izuku runs forward as basically that boar Grimm is coming at him. As basically he just punches in the face. There is, that, shotgun, basically being, bullet being shot, send it flying as it hits the wall, gets up and it runs down. And he's like, "Come on!" As basically just dodging it, jumping over it, kicking it, basically, and then when it does try to hit him, he rolls, throws a punch, bullet being hits the boar, as then when he basically starts rolling, he's like, "Oh, so that's how you want to play it." So he basically gets low to the ground, has his fists, basically close to it. And I was like, what the? As he basically uppercuts it all the way in the air. As then he goes, no! Wise. As she does dash forward with a stab motion. But it also, basically gets killed. Because she pins to the ground. Yang and Ruby was saying the exact same thing. She was, which, she was getting annoyed by it, but luckily Izuku was not even paying attention, just doing what he felt was right. Which they're kind of shocked by that he was not having really much trouble. I mean, he was like, it's just like boxing. As then all of a sudden the scarf starts to, go back to normal. He's like, nice job. She's like, thank you. She says to him. And then after that, they sit down, class ends, and kind of the whole entire argument kind of happens a little bit, with, you know, Ruby and Wise. But she does go to the teacher, and even though they did a good job, I mean, the plan was just a Izuku fight, and she didn't like try to make an argument. So I mean, he did pass them, but it's also with criticism that she would say like not perfect grade, like an A+. He gave them like an A only, which then she kind of go over and tries to see if she can do it again and apologize for it and ask about her being the leader and such because of Ruby's being so childish, which kind of leads into her realizing everything's actually the same way she did in canon. So, so basically everything what happened with Ruby and Wise. Yeah, what eyes? Yeah, everything what happened like same thing. Like she'll get her coffee, but meanwhile Izuku is training all day and even into the night. Technically, he went to studies. After that, with Grimwood. I mean, Goodwitch, not Grimwood, Goodwitch basically, and well, it was history and knowledge of basically in their language and a little bit of combat training. That was it. Which then Izuku goes into the training room after that, and he trains through the whole entire, the whole entire dinner time, all the way into the night, where midnight, and Ozpin just, comes in and he's like, I can see why the sensors are going off. He's like, Ozpin, why are you here? I see you're working hard, training. I seen you found the weights. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to throw punches with them. And I had to strap them down to my leg. I see. Your huntsman outfit is ready. He goes, thanks. Is there anything else you want to tell me? He's like, yes. Go get some sleep. It's the middle of the night. You have class tomorrow. He's like, I know, but I just need to get stronger. I need to find out how to, get stronger with this power. And find some ways how to use my semblance correctly. I know I did it perfectly, but even with the copying of the weapon, but I have to get stronger just in case I have to wield any different types of weapons. Spears, maces, other scythe, or clubs, guns. I had to train with a lot of different weapons. It's just going to be very difficult, but I had to be more flexible. I can't just rely on basically speed and brute force. I have to be tactical too. Which honestly goes, yes, and you have to have a sharp mind, so get some sleep. He's like, there's no argument with you, is there? He goes, nope. He's like, alright, Austin, I will. So, after that, Izuku gets, to his room, and Blake is there for, not just waiting for him. Asleep in his bed. He's like, why is she here? So, he goes over to her, basically shaking her, and was like, Blake, wake up. So she's like, huh? Oh, Izuku, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were here. She goes, yeah, where were you? He was like, I was training throughout the night. It's took me 10 minutes to get here, so it's technically 12:15. Husband came and told me to go to bed at 12:05. She's like, oh, so I just have some more questions, but I want to talk to you in private. He's like, did Ruby ask you? She goes, Ruby's curious, but I'm also more curious about, you said you were treated different. He's like, oh, yeah. Can you tell me how bad it was? He was like, oh, besides the bullying? I mean, I always took it in strife where I could just get stronger. I mean, I gained more resistance to explosions. But that was physical. Most of my classmates did hurt me physically, but mentally, kind of messed me up sometimes. She was like, what? He was like, well, I did feel like crap. Like, I wasn't worth anything. No one would care. The only reason why is I didn't do anything to myself because of my mom. She was the only thing I had left. My dad never even came around. Didn't even know him. I don't even know if he's even alive. And I don't care. He's just a no good father anyways. She was like, oh. He's like, yeah. Now, if you want to know more about what was the one thing that really pissed me off was just because they say, hey, if you want to quirk in the next life, you should take a swine dive off of the school building. Which Blake eyes wide and she was like, who would say that? And he was like, oh, easy. You're basically your childhood friend. Or should I say ex-childhood friend. Which she's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He's like, it's fine. I didn't give a I don't care about that guy anyways. He's just a jerk. I mean, I'm never gonna see him again, so... She's like, wait, what? He goes, oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I'm stuck here, permanently. So, Blake just looked at him in shock, and he goes like, were you forced to? Or, he goes, no, I was given a choice. She goes, huh? It was, yeah, I was given a choice. To come here and stay here for all my life, or, hold on. Alright, so here's the thing. My dad left the door open to his room, so the TV's on. If you can hear any of that, I don't want any of those sounds. Alright? He's just in the shower. Cause his back and shoulders hurting him. I know it says TMI, but just so you know why you hear water running. But anyways, he was like, okay, so I could have stayed here for the rest of my life, or, well, you know, go back home. Basically, never even came here. He was, and you, what was your reason why? He was like, I could have been useful. I basically could help out people. I didn't really have much left in that world. I wanted a fresh start, basically, too. And, well, it's just, I just want, you know, a different scenery. So, yeah, I chose to came to this world. And I'm kind of glad I did. She goes, huh? It's like, well, even though I don't know you guys very well, but I have a feeling Team RWBY is really going to be a place where I can say I can actually have real friends. Or friends in general. Well, she goes, wait, what do you mean actual have friends or friends in general? He's like, oh, yeah. Just because you're quirkless, no one wants to be your friend. No one. It's kind of sad. 20% of the population are quirkless, and yet it's like everyone thinks we're just a plague and a disease that needs to be killed off sometimes, or make fun of, ridiculed. So it's basically a pain. We're always looked down on. Everyone calls us worthless, aka deku. Which he was like, a deku? It's a Japanese term for useless. She was like, oh, I see. He's like, yeah, it's a pain. But, anyways, is that all you want to know? She's like, yeah, thanks, Izuku. I'll be sure to tell Ruby, too. He's like, tell everyone tomorrow, just get some sleep. She was right. So, Okay, so she goes to the door, leaning back into the girl's side. She goes, "Night, Izuku." He goes, "Night." So she goes into, to her bed and stuff after she closes the door, and she lays down. But she basically thinks to herself, he's just like the faunus here. We're always picked on, looked down on, and hated. I I didn't know there was other places like that. Like, hold on, everyone. Anyways, so Blake falls asleep while Ruby's thinking. Since she was awake, she overheard Izuku saying it. So technically, she would start crying a little bit and just be, you know, hugging a pillow, be like, "How can anyone be so mean to him?" Saying that all life is precious, basically. No one deserves to be treated like that. And so she technically cries herself to sleep because to her, she's seeing Izuku as a friend. And, you know, so yeah. So then after that, after she wakes up, Yang knows, Ruby's eyes are a little bit, red. She was like, "Ruby, are you okay?" She was, "Yeah, why? Your eyes are a little bit red. Is everything fine?" She was, "Yeah, it's just, I guess I was crying in my sleep about something." She's like, "Oh, are you sure you're fine?" He's like, "Uh-huh, I'm fine. Don't worry, Yang." So, if I remember correctly, after this, it would be, well, technically just the history class. Actually, no, it would be then next the fighting class. So let's say in 2 days later, Izuku and Ruby, Izuku, Ruby, Yang, not Whis, Wise, and Blake all got along. Izuku learns how to fight with basically Ruby's scythe and gun is a sniper, along with Blake's sword that turns into a gun and sheath too. And well, he goes pretty proficient with it, and basically Ruby's weapon, which surprised them. I just had some really good teachers. That's all. Also, Ruby helped him train with his scythe and bow staff, so it also came in handy. And he also helped them to learn some hand-to-hand combat, basically without their semblance. Which they kind of figured out that they needed it really quickly. They relied on semblance a little bit too much because that's how the world works. But yeah, so it's just Gene getting his butt whooped by Carter. Yeah, I think it's Carter or Carter. I'm saying you call him. Yeah, I think it's just Carter, basically. So yeah, as in Goodwitch says about exactly the same thing, and then how then the tournament's coming up for fighting. So we will go to who went in the cafeteria, as they're just telling about how Gene should tell someone because or get some help because Carter is basically bullying him. As he was like, he's not bullying me and such, and the flashback would show. But then it's Carter and his team is picking on a bunny faunus. As, well, basically when someone says, she's a freak, Izuku had something, was having a fork. He was right next to Blake. As he hears that, he basically puts down his fork, gets up, goes over around the table, passing the faunus, where the faunus, bunny, she's like seeing him pissed. And then when she basically sees him, going to Carter, he's like, huh? Everyone just sees him grabbing Carter's head, smacking onto the table. Okay, no offense, I'm just saying, if you really think about it, in this standpoint, Izuku has power. He's been called useless, a freak all his life, and he doesn't want to make anyone or have no one feel exactly the same way he felt. So, what do you think he's gonna do? So, give me a minute. Okay. So everyone just sees that Carter's group. So I'm like, hey, what the hell, man? And he goes, so, you like to pick on people. And fondness. And Carter goes like, what's the matter if I do? He's like, oh, I mean, well, what is a big, strong person wants to pick on the weak? Huh? Or you're just a huntsman for fame and fortune. It's like, so what? What does it matter if I have my own motives for becoming a huntsman? And he's like, oh, arrogant prick, huh? Hell, you're all talk. Really. You like to pick on weak just to make you feel better. It's like, but why you? Izuku basically sees Carter about to punch him. He basically moves his hand to Carter's fist to the side, dodging it. Basically, same thing. Left fist to the side, and all of a sudden, like jab him with his palm in the face, and then make like a quick movement with his right hand into his chest, basically knock him like back a little bit. As everyone's seeing it, he's like, "Come on, that's all you got." As basically, Carter, runs up to him, tries to throw a punch. Izuku dodges and weaves, punch him in the side, then punch him in the face. Then, does a jump spin kick to his face, basically, making him flip onto the table. As Carter says, "What are you guys doing? Get him!" As well, yes, if I'm making a karate scene, yes. So, Izuku basically sees the guys jumping onto the table, as then he jumps on it, as well. There's multiple people. Well, there's two people in front of him, as well, and one of them tries to throw a punch. He basically dodges, punches him in the face, and then one throws a punch from his side. He dodges it, then hit the other person, and then grab him. They're basically arm, headbutting them in the face, and then basically using the other person's arm, basically hit someone in the face, and then using the leg to kick the other person that was about to try to punch him in the leg, and then immediately kicks the other person off, kicking a tray up, smacking that person in the face, and then when Carter gets up, he just uppercuts Carter with the tray. As technically, they're like all grown and in pain. Izuku throws a tray onto the floor. He was like I said, all talk. He jumps off the table onto the bench and walks off of that. And then the final girl seeing this, he walks up to her saying, "You all right?" She's like, why did you do that?" He was like, "Easy. No one's a freak. You never asked to be born the way you were. So no one can judge. Besides, it's fine." And then he just, basically, sorry for this, but as he pets her on the head, says, I don't think you are a freak. You're just a normal girl. So, don't let them, pick on you. See ya." As he walks away from her, goes back to his seat and just start eating it like it never even happened. And then, everyone's just looking at him along with, Jean, Pyra, Lee, Nika? I think it's Nika. Or Nira. I'm gonna check real quick. Give me a minute. Okay, so is Nora. Nora, then Yane, Weiss, Blake, Wise, Blake, and Ruby are looking at me. He's like, what did I do? Like, you just took on 4 people by yourself, and then just act like nothing ever happened. He's like, yeah, they're not worth remembering. Which Izuku then starts eating, which Blake goes like, why did you help her? He's like, because she's just a normal girl. But, basically we wise will say, but she's a faunus. He's like, to me, she's normal. Remember. Which then all Team RWBY, all the members of Team RWBY nod. He was like, so it's just like a, the second thing you said. He was like, starts with an M. They nodded. He was like, yep. Which then Gene's team along with Gene are confused. He goes, don't worry about it. Basically, Goodwitch and Ozpin saw the fight. And Goodwitch says, should we do something? He's like, yes, we are. But, to be honest, his fighting skills in hand-to-hand combat is impressive. Don't you think? Fighting, like, multiple people at once. Which he was like, and he used his environment to his advantage, too. I know, but we can't allow fighting in school without, punishment, which he says, Osmond just says, well, technically they were picking on a student. And then one student just took it to his own hands to show them show them what they were doing is wrong with violence. Saying that he wasn't all that great or special. So, yeah. As then, secondly speaking, Goodwitch says, yeah, so should we give him a light punishment since they were bullying someone? He's like, yes, but we'll do that later. Right now, let's him just enjoy his time. We'll talk to him during the lesson. He's like, Goodwitch is like, right. So basically, after all of that happens, it's just history class. Izuku listens and writes every note down as much as he can. As then the teacher, basically he's asking everyone, well, technically about what's the greatest war between the fondness and our rights, basically. And they tell about the greatest war battle of, okay, Bartholomew? Yeah. Bartholomew or Oblique? Bartholomew Oblique. But, Mr. Oblique, basically, the history teacher, basically, it's like the battle of a castle, basically, I remember what it was called. I don't remember that much detail. But he was like, correct, and why was he outmatched this general? And then, he asked Gene, but Gene was asleep, he gets it wrong. Then Carter basically answers wrong. But then, Pierre answered it right about how the Fonts have night vision. And then Blake finished it up and then saying if he, listened more in class, he wouldn't have been, known as a loser, basically. Which then, everything there for him was the same. Izuku was there too, but he didn't really care. So, Gene and Carter are gonna, the same talk. Pyra and Gene do exactly the same thing. Izuku, though, is with Goodwitch and with, Ozpin. As Ozpin said, Izuku, what you did in the lunchroom was, wasn't good. He's like, I know, but I just couldn't let them get away with bullying somebody. Which Ozpin says, I know. Which Goodwitch just says, okay, I know basically about where you come from and somewhat of how you were treated, but it couldn't have been that bad, right? He goes, I was told to go kill myself. What do you think? He's like, oh, I see. He's like, yeah. I mean, I didn't consider it, but a few times before that, I thought about, just disappearing. Really. But she goes, it was that bad, huh? He goes, yeah. But because my mom was around, I never wanted to leave. But she's not no more. So, yeah. Anyways, do I have a punishment? Which Austin's saying, yes. You're gonna be wearing, 10 times the normal weight of your clothing. He's like, huh? It'll be a lot harder for you to get to class, and you could call it training. He's like, well, okay. Which Izuku says, I don't know if that could be a punishment. He's like, also, the weight will increase every hour. He's like, so have fun. He's like, well, there's the harsh treatment. So, after that, we basically have everything going with, Gene with Carter for the next couple of weeks. Izuku and the Team RWBY getting to know each other, and they do like sparring. Well, and Izuku also does like work on his, fire bending. He's basically figure out he can basically have any fire coming from his body, and then while in the middle of training with his scythe, when he basically starts spinning around, a flame is coming off of it, and well, he makes a slash in the air. Everyone can see there's a stream of fire coming off of the blade. He's like, whoa. So, yeah. Anyways, though, we are technically skipping past Ruby talks to Jean. We're kind of going right into the forest. So, the thing is, Pyra is not the one who's going to be, targeted. It's going to be Izuku, but actually no, Pyra would be the one who's targeted, but then Izuku too, which then, Jean has had a very close friendship to Izuku too, so he basically throws everything, the thing at Jean. Jean throws the thing at Carter. Carter gets mad. The whole entire fight scene, what happened with him, and the whole entire Ursa, basically the bear, Grim, they, Carter's friend to run away, or teammates, and Pyra helps him out with it. Now, after that then, him telling him don't mess with his friends / teammates to Carter, and leaves. We just go to the Harvest Festival. And basically, Louise says everything's exactly the same way as saying, Yang says, I can't believe you could take something so fun, become so boring. Then she says, quiet you, which is just snickers at this. And so they was looking at me like, what? He's like, I'm sorry, it's just funny. And Ruby says the same thing about the port. Then we have the monkey Faunus coming around, gets off the boat, saying like he's not a bad stowaway, he's a good stowaway since he's never been caught. And then, police are chasing him. They even found out about the dust. It's been a couple months. So, even though I've been saying, like, it's, has been, like, weeks, we're just saying this happened, like, months later. So, a lot of training that happened, a lot of different abilities found out. But technically been only found with one, that he could use the weapon with fire. So, yeah. But anyways, continuing on, we then have, Izuku and Team RWBY chasing after the Faunus monkey, bumping into a girl with a bow and orange hair. Basically, Wheeze says, are you okay? He's like, yes. And then he asks, do you want to get up? He goes, yes. And she jumps up. And, they introduce everyone to each other. Izuku says, I'm Izuku. And she goes, I'm Penny, basically. And, they find out that she's going to be a part of the fighting tournament. And then Wheeze then goes on and on about the Faunus and such. And Yang was arguing with her already and such. So we then go back to the scene where it's just at the home. Telling back at Beacon and the dorms. If you guys are wondering why I'm rushing this, because unfortunately I have to go to bed and I don't mind, since Dad told me to go to bed and I'm technically getting tired. So yeah. But Zuko technically has been now wearing his his huntsman attire. So So anyways. So after them arguing, and we find out why Louise hates the Faunus, Yang kind of reveals her as herself as being one, and then she disappears. Izuku runs over and says, "Wait, what happened?" And they say, "Blake just ran away." And she goes, "Huh? Shit." He technically sends someone in his huntsman outfit, so he starts running after, Blake. In which, Izuku catches up. He's like, "Blake, what's the matter? You're a Faunus." Where she looks and she sees Izuku. She goes, "You weren't supposed to see this." He goes, "Why are you hiding it?" She goes, "About, the white fang, basically, and all that." It's like, oh. Hold on, guys. Okay, so he was like, "Yeah, I heard. I mean, you guys were pretty yelling really loud, so." She goes, "Oh, right." So he walks up to her, he holds out his hand. Goes, "Come on." He goes, "Huh? We're getting off campus. We're leaving for a while. Till everything cools down, alright?" She goes, "You're sure?" He's like, "Yeah. Come on." So Blake takes his hand as they're walking off. So, someone was watching this and I'm like, huh. I guess all humans ain't bad. So, Izuku and Blake, walk around. He basically is just chatting with her for 2 days while her, she's being silent. She's just thinking, why does he not hate me? I mean, I know he's from a different world, but come on. He has to think the White Fang are bad. So, technically 2 days later, Blake and Izuku are gone. Ruby, Yang and we, Wise is, worried. Yes, she is worried in this one because of, technically Blake and for Izuku. So, yeah. Especially Ruby. Because, 2 friends of hers are gone. So, yeah. Anyways. So, technically they've been searching for them since Friday. And, we're going to the calf where, Blake and the monkey bonus boy was at. And, she does ask Izuku, "So, what do you want to know?" He's like, "Well, at least you can speak it now. I was getting tired just having you listen to me. I probably was really boring you." She goes, "You weren't. I like hearing you talk." He's like, "Alright, so, tell me everything." So basically, she explains everything she would have done to as where is his name? I know I wrote it down here. Sun Wukong. Yeah, as she would have told Sun Wukong. As he was, "I see. So, you were born into this basically, and somewhere around some time ago, you didn't like how everything was. I have nothing against you." She goes, "Huh? I can't judge you for your past. You were basically born into it, and I agree. Peaceful protesting could have got you guys somewhere, but people fear you guys now. It does make, violence does make a good way to get your, what you want. But in the end, it's just going to cause problems. So, I can see why you left, but I also have a feeling there's a lot more to this story than you let on. But, that's fine. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to." And then Sun Wukong comes in. He's like, "Sup?" And she goes, you're the Faunus." He goes, "Yep, good story to hear. Anyways, thanks for not having any, well, hatred towards Faunus." It's like, hey, I'm not gonna blame every Faunus just because of a group. I don't, you know them. So, why should I even argue or, saying like, oh, they're basically just dirty thugs? The Ice Queen's really a pain. Which Blake goes, Ice Queen? He goes, Wheeze. She goes, oh, Wise. I think it was actually no. Yeah, Wise. So, he goes, anyways, someone con, saying, it's, I'm so shocked that you're in, you were a part of White Fang. And basically, Izuku says, and I'm also surprised a monkey can freaking eavesdrop and not be seen. See, hey, like, what? You're a monkey. Like she's a cat. I'm just seeing how I see it, okay? It's like, okay, I get you. Just Samukan. He's like, alright, but I don't know you that well, so I can only go by what I see. It's like, fair enough, I get it. So, after that, all three of them walking around town, and he goes like, so, what's the deal with you? He's like, me? So yeah, you're different from everyone I met. Well, non-Faunus. He was like, oh, I'm not from around here. Where I'm from, it's kind of the exact same thing, but with people with no powers. It's like, huh? So it's hard to explain, but let's just say this. Faunus at least have rights, while people like what I used to be don't. No one cares about you. A teacher in the school will just let people bully you or hurt you, and to them it's no problem. They just go on with the class. Which is like, damn, man, that must sucked. He's like, oh, trust me, it did. But, hey, what can you do? Right? Which he does not. So, after technically that, you know, Blake wants to see if is the White Fang, you know, taking dust and everything. So, Sun then tells them about the whole entire shipping that's coming in of dust. So, yeah, they go there that night. In which, well, they do, while Zuko and Blake are just staking out, at a stakeout, obviously, we're seeing they are there, we're gonna come. He's like, so, what do you want to talk about? She goes, I don't know. Did you, in your old world, had anyone special besides your mom? He's like, oh, no, actually. There was no one. No one really cared for me. Everyone looked at me with disgust, so no girl really ever asked me out. Why? He was like, no reason. It's just, you're so kind. Why would no one want to be with you just because you were, you know? It's like, yeah, my world's kind of, weird. She goes, yeah. Then Sun basically comes back. He's like, got some food. It's like, and Blake says, did you just steal it? Or you do whatever you want? He's like, pretty much. It's like, so after basically that little thing, aircrafts come in, the White Fang is there. But, basically Roman's there too. And then she says the White Fang would never work with someone like, a human. So basically she jumps down and does actually the same thing. And, well, a fight scene happens. Izuku gets in it. I'm not going to cover all of it because I'm starting to doze off a little bit. So yeah, but anyways, Suzuki gets into it. He has his staff out. He's just like hitting everyone back and forth, away from him, fight, having them go back. Also, Sun basically is helping out meet Blake, as then, well, what I can see is this, the exact same thing happened with Blake and Sun. While Izuku's taking out the grunts when basically the whole entire box, a cargo crate is about to fall on them. Instead of Sun pushing around, pushing Blake out of the way, Izuku runs, jumps, and legit uses the staff to smack that away, which it does work. It does move a little bit and lands away from him as Dave said thanks. He goes, no problem. Come on, let's finish this guy off. So yeah, Ruby comes in. Same thing with Penny. Penny is helping out, taking care of the aircrafts down, while Izuku and Blake and Sun are fighting against Roman. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Oh, me? Well, just some kid trying to help out a friend, trying to beat you up, and yeah, nice hat." As then basically when Izuku has the scythe out, he basically tries to hit Roman. Roman dodges, but his hats get cut in half. He was like, "My hat! This was my favorite hat!" He's like, "I bet you have multiple pairs of that." He's like, "No." He's like, "Oh my god, you do. Jeez." So don't complain, man, but still, man, have more variety. He's like, "Damn kid." Basically, he tries to blast Izuku with his cane, and he's like, "Seriously, with the cane gun? Get rid of that thing. It's annoying." He's like, "No." So basically, he's trying to hit Izuku. While then Blake comes in. Then, well, Sun. So, but I want to say, Roman throws something down and then shoots it. Makes a smoke screen. He gets onto the aircraft. He says, "Kids, they just keep getting weirder," basically, and leaves. So the cops arrive there. Wise says exactly the same she says to Blake. Blake's happy. She looks at Izuku saying, "Thank you." He was like, "I just did what any teammate would do." Actually, no, any person would do. You're my friend, Blake. And, well, I'll do anything for a friend. Hell, technically, I'd probably do anything even more for other reasons. Actually, I really don't need a reason to help out somebody. So, she just giggles at that because he's like, "You really just have to say that then, huh?" He's like, "Too cheesy?" She goes, "A little." He's like, "Alright, sorry." So, Ruby asks where's Penny, and everyone gets back to the, dorms and such. And we have Ozpin looking at the, footage of something. I forget what it was. And then we just, end that off right now. Actually, no. Ozpin, looking at footage, he was like, "Zuko, seems you're getting stronger. Seems like the training keeps on helping you out. Hopefully it'll be enough. We should try and get you to see if you can use the other element. At least the wind and lightning. It'll be better off if you could, but you may need the other half of the power wherever it is." So yeah. And then basically we just will go to Roman as he meets 3 different people. Saying we thought you would have a lot more. He says, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were coming in time." So yeah. Anyways, though, that's where we're leaving it off. I hope you guys have a nice night, day, wherever you are. Bye.